my protection.
Protection from what?
Koryuken.
We're gonna be in the new world in no time. This is exhilarating. Get excited.
Nick, I got a question. You like jazz?
Not particularly.
Not even Cowboy
It's
Bebop?
alright. I mean, I don't listen to it on purpose.
Damn. Like, for me, jazz, like, is where it's free form and everything. It's actually like kind of cool. But I get how it's not everyone's cup of tea. Although I do like, certain composition. For instance, like the Cowboy Bebop soundtrack. Like a lot of the jazz and like stuff on there is just like top notch. I love that stuff. But overall, like jazz players and everything, they sort of got to be like masters of improv. They got to know their instrument and everything, and you got to kind of wait for your turn to like take the mantle up and like be in the front of the or like be the one driving the melody and everything. But
Charlie from Always Sunny. Not really the biggest fan of jazz, like too many unnecessary notes.
I hate to be the one to say it, but the unnecessary notes are like kind of the thing because
That's the joke, I suppose.
Yeah. I mean, for me, probably my favorite thing about jazz. Hold on. Yeah. Like this is jazz, and it's like he hears that right there, and he's just like, how can I use that? I want to copy that lick, and I want to use it in something that's in the same key. He knows. Those who know. I guarantee you there were fans and there were people who were in the audience, and like some Mario Kart people were there, and they heard that lick. They were like, "That son of a bitch, he did it."
There's probably a lot of people that are just like, where have I heard that before?
Yeah. But you could tell back here, like the trumpet player's like having his like low key having his mind blown by it. But yeah, like he's like, ooh.
To be honest, I've seen this meme several times and I never actually remember what that lick sounds like in between. So I'm pretty sure I would just be like, it would probably completely go over my head. It's like not the catchiest part of like the Mario Kart soundtrack by any means.
From the original like 8, that was probably for me like the best track.
I guess if I like played it a lot, but like I don't know, I didn't play it a lot, so
fair enough. But
if somebody just like started whipping out something like dun 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 in the middle of a metal song, I would be like, are they playing Ridley's theme right now? But yeah. But the B movie, that's the reason why I asked if you like jazz, because that's one of the biggest memes to come from this movie. This entire movie is a meme.
Yes, it is.
I've technically never watched this movie, but I've seen this entire movie.
Yes.
'Cause it plays in like,
it's everywhere.
a few split seconds online.
Well, there's a guy who literally played the entire B movie over the span. It was like the B movie slowed down to like 10 times slower than what it normally plays, and it was like almost 12 hours long.
I've actually seen the B movie, but every time they say B, it gets faster.
That one's the other one that...
And therefore, I've seen the entire movie, technically.
Yeah.
I couldn't comprehend the entire movie past the intro, but...
God. To me, that's kind of low-key funny. But Jerry Seinfeld, whose comedy I'm not always a fan of, but every now and again he hits some gold. But well, we got the Nostalgia Critics review of The B Movie right here, ready to go. So, are you ready, Nick? Are you ready, Internet? Let's go.
Welcome to our family focus group for our upcoming film, B-Movie.
Yeah, you said there was a party here?
If by party you mean celebration of laughter,
So that's a no.
we're observing the responses of 3 demographics. Grown-ups,
Just my body, not my mind.
you're a dad, aren't you?
How'd you know?
Because our teen demographic is disgusted by you.
Sellout.
You don't even know what I do.
And finally, we have our kid demographic. You promised me a Jolt energy drink. Not until after the screening, son.
I heard those were bad for kids.
Nonsense, my child has always had facial hair. Now, sit back and enjoy.
Why does he remind me of Saul, by the way?
Saul?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Just like, I don't know. Like, they don't look exactly the same, but like, he kind of looks like a dollar store Saul. Saul
Hey,
Goodman.
buddy. Jerry
Yeah.
Seinfeld here.
Oh yeah, Jim. Kind of, yeah.
You remember me from making the greatest sitcom you've ever seen in your life. That's true.
Not necessarily
this
Saul
cartoon is a
Goodman, but like him
bee.
from
I'm a
like
bee.
the Nobody movie, you know?
Oh,
Especially
Bob
the one that's
Odenkirk.
coming up, you know?
Yeah, Bob Odenkirk. I get that.
Hey! He's not really a bee. That's funny. Because we're a kids film, you're probably gonna take it easy on us, though you might get annoyed us going back and forth between funny and not funny. For example, our lives are so short, all our schooling is done in a week. That's funny. And we're also called newbies. That's not funny. And there's plenty more where that came from, but it looks pretty and you weren't bored, so what do you say? Give us a pass? Yeah, I guess this ain't half bad. Hey kid, Jerry Seinfeld here, the comedian your dad thinks is God for some reason.
Incorrect. My dad's favorite comedian is not Jerry Seinfeld. My dad's favorite comedian is Robin Williams.
I'm getting paid millions
My
not to try and
dad's
completely.
not really a fan either, as far as I know. But I do know people who like think that it's like the greatest comedy show ever. And I'm like, I don't really see it, but okay.
Take out the laugh tracks. It's not that funny.
My sister really likes it.
There's very few scenes that are funny without a laugh track.
Yeah, like the funniest scene, according to my sister, was like the whole like soup
soup
Nazi
Nazi,
guy.
yeah.
And if you take the laugh track out, that entire scene is just awkward.
Yeah.
There's nothing funny about it.
Insult your intelligence.
You're doing a great job of that.
I made this movie specifically for idiots. If you're watching this, I think you're an idiot. You're an idiot.
You're an idiot.
I'm a bee.
You are the worst thing that we have made as a species.
This whole movie is just an hour and a half of me saying, I'm a bee. You're an idiot.
You will be the greatest troll on the internet with this movie.
Yes.
This random line that means nothing will be your battle cry,
You like jazz?
It'll get old so quickly.
which is what you want.
This isn't 4D chess. It's 5D chess.
Every troll in the world will be amazed at how smart you are.
Be amazed.
That was already brilliant.
I'm just getting started.
They'll write stories about your expert use of irony.
Bet no other kids are getting this idea.
Let us destroy this movie for everyone, almost for good reasons.
So, what did everybody think?
Decent.
Terrible.
So, did they have sex or not?
It almost doesn't seem fair to call 2007's B movie divisive because, well, it feels like it's evolved beyond that, in both good and bad ways. You see the trailer for this film, hell, even just the poster, hell, even just the title, and you immediately get an idea what you're gonna think about it. And there's really nothing in the movie that's gonna change your mind. And it certainly doesn't lie about what it is. It's Jerry Seinfeld as a bee. Just kinda doing whatever he wants in a story that's all over the place and doesn't have much focus on character as much as jokes. And the jokes, well,
I mean, my
let's be
initial thought
honest, are-
upon seeing this movie announced was basically like, I don't think this is something that I care about at all. So, if there's nothing in the movie that's going to change my mind about it, apparently it's 100% like just a movie I'm not going to care about at all.
I don't.
Although they do have the like the random like weirdly hot like Pixar mom style like character for some reason.
But for me, this movie, when I saw it, it was like 2 years after it came out, and my nephew was watching it, and I was just like, yeah, Jerry Seinfeld's still not as funny as he thinks he is.
Are also very Jerry Seinfeld. They're all over the place. I, of course, love his classic sitcom, but I'm not surprised when people say it can be pretty dad jokey for what many say is one of the great comedies. To me, that's part of the charm. Jerry just doesn't care and does the humor he enjoys, and there is something admirable about that. And yes, I do know sometimes the humor is intentionally cringy, even if it can be really cringy.
Well, why do I need your permission?
Because he's my butler.
That was awful. That was awful. Just awful.
B-movie
Tell him,
is similar,
Janet.
but doesn't have the advantage of saying we're obsessing over funny little things and how they become funny big things. Oh, I mean, nothing. It's a show about nothing. That still doesn't feel right. I did a whole video on it. Leave your complaints there. But
Yeah.
everyone going into this knows who Seinfeld is, knows his brand of humor, and to some degree is looking for something similar. Yet the reactions to it have been pretty extreme. If you love it, you really love it. If you hate it, you really hate it. Even if you just think it's okay, you think it's really okay. Watching it again, I will admit, I think I've gone from the liking category to the okay category. I do see more the number of jokes that really miss, but there are still a fair amount that work, and I do get a laugh at how humorously unfocused it is. I just loved I never knew where this movie was going. And yes, I'm sure part of the hatred came from this becoming baby's first troll movie. I'll admit this phenomenon was past my time, but from what I heard, everyone who lived through it is instantly pro-genocide. And maybe if I had to see all that, I would hate this movie too. But I'm here mainly to talk about the film itself and not the memes that got so old and obnoxious it could be one of my memes. So let's take
See, even Doug's willing to admit like some of his jokes played out. Although the back credit card meme is still pretty damn funny.
a look at the film that represented something completely different, depending on who you are and who you were when you saw it. Because hey, sometimes it's fun to intentionally sabotage your comment section.
Hey, you know what my favorite Beatles song is?
Let it be.
Well, no, just saying Beatles was the joke, but that's even better.
Damn it.
I am a god!
No, you're
Better
not.
or worse, let's take a look at B-movie.
No, you're not. You're a mistake. Your dad should have worn a condom.
Damn.
The film opens where else? In a beehive, where Jerry Seinfeld plays Barry B. Benson. Like I said, it's the exact movie you think it's gonna be. Who's graduating college.
Yellow, black, yellow, black, yellow, black, yellow, black. Ooh, black and yellow. Looking sharp.
As I mentioned before, the film has a weird habit of following a funny joke with an unfunny joke.
Barry, why don't you use the stairs? Your father paid good money for those.
Sorry.
Alright, that's good.
A perfect report card. All B's.
It's okay, that's the only B pun. Oh wait, there's a lot more. As the credits roll, Barry picks up his friend Adam, played by Matthew Broderick, who thankfully isn't in the film long enough to ruin it.
3 days of
God.
grade school, 3 days of high school,
Those were so awkward.
3 days of college.
By the end of the day, most of my movie career will be dead. Graduation moves so fast, they're literally thrown into their job orientations right after. And for people who say there's nothing to this movie, I'd like to point out one of the directors of Prince of Egypt worked on this, and it shows because the point of view shots and sense of scale are really good.
Yeah. Now, I will say this. I was more interested in the world than I was interested in Barry and his
The plot.
bullshit. Yeah. Yeah.
You can watch this movie on mute and still enjoy it. In fact, I think that's how some people do enjoy it.
That girl was hot.
She's my cousin.
She is?
Yes, we're all cousins.
It's only the romance later. Doesn't sound too bad, does it?
You'll
Yeah.
stay in the job that you pick for the rest of your life.
I didn't know that.
What's the difference?
Randomly became an anime dub there.
Maybe the honey field just isn't right for me.
And you were thinking of what? Making balloon animals? That's a bad job for a guy with a stinger.
Yeah, this film setup is gonna make people go back and hate the movie Ants. Oh, wait, I guess it already happened. Thanks, B-movie.
Yeah.
Be a star?
No one's listening to me.
Wait till you see the sticks I have for you.
I can say anything I want right now.
Trust me, I know. That was the only sentence in my contract. The next day they go to pick their jobs, which, as you'd imagine, goes very fast.
Step up and make your choice.
Oh my. What's available?
Everything but actor. But we got 5 openings. Shut up. The timing also goes back and forth between being really good and really awkward.
He's dead. 2 more dead. Dead from the neck up, dead from the neck down. But that's life.
Oh, this is so hard.
Maybe they're waiting for the sitcom music?
But that's life.
Barry gets inspiration to be a pollen jock and secretly joins him to get outside and see the world.
I'm out! I can't believe I'm out!
Okay, I'm sorry. I know this is gonna sound insane, but I feel really bad I didn't see B-Movie on the big screen. These are good shots. I even heard it was shown in 3D, which I bet would look amazing without distractingly showing off. Though I don't know, did they advertise it as 3B? That probably would ruin it
Thank God they didn't do that.
for me.
Hey, Candy Brain, get off there!
Barry gets stuck on a tennis ball and, okay, is that his wing or are they borderline Roger Rabbit VHS?
Hold on.
Tennis ball and, okay, is that his wing?
It's his wing.
It's his wing. Thank God.
Or are they borderline Roger Rabbit VHSing this?
Yeah. That's one thing about Roger Rabbit that a lot of people don't know about the original VHS. People were able to, like, pause and slow it down. And, yeah.
They actually animated her upskirt.
They animated her whole thing.
Her hoo-ha.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound very PG.
Well, it's not. It's because it happened so fast that no one could note, no one could see it on the big screen. However, the advent of video and like the pause and frame by frame, oh boy.
Why would they do that?
Because some animators are perverts, dude.
Apparently.
Some animators are perverts, and they're like, I'm going to do this and no one's going to notice it. Oh shit, they noticed it.
Yes. Barry gets separated from the group and ends up in the apartment of Vanessa and Ken, played by Renee Zellweger and Patrick Warburton.
Stop giving the bee bedroom eyes. Jesus.
I wasn't getting that. I was getting like, I'm going to perform horrible experiments on and murder you vibes. She looks like she just caught like a freaking like intruder in her evil lair or something.
Yeah. Hold on. Maybe this will work with it.
Played by Vega and Patrick Warburton.
Kinda, yeah. Especially with Doug's reaction thereafter.
Yeah.
Whoever animated that really wanted to be that bee. Barry is touched that Vanessa saved his life, so he returns to her home to thank her.
Oh, I can't do it. Come on. How should I start it? You like jazz?
I now have to hate something I originally had no opinion on. He finally talks to her, and big shock, she's freaked out an insect can talk.
How did you learn to do that?
What?
The talking thing.
Same way you did, I guess.
That's very funny.
Bees are funny.
Again, that was my one-sentence pitch for the movie. To the film's credit, nobody sounds like they're not having a good time. Zellweger is clearly cast as the generically kind beauty, but her quirky delivery does make her scene stand out and give her more of a character.
Are you all right?
No.
I know somebody who'd be angry if he saw you do that.
My parents wanted me to be a lawyer or a doctor, but I wanted to be a florist.
Okay, honestly, how can anyone think any part of this movie is supposed to be taken seriously? I really don't think we're supposed to believe the romance between these two. I would take the romance between these two more seriously before them.
Don't remind me.
In fact, I bet people do.
Nope. Do not Google that, Doug, because Rule 34. If it exists on the internet, then there is, yeah. Doug, no!
Okay, they do. All right.
Yep. Scarred forever.
Barry goes home and comes to grips with the fact that he might be in love with a human woman.
She's human.
Oh, no. That didn't happen. You didn't do that. That's a B-law.
B-law? So This happened enough they made legislation about it? So that's where that He-Man character came from.
Oh.
This is over. Eat this.
Horrifying.
They call it a crumb, and that's not even what they eat. That just falls off what they eat.
Again, good joke.
Do you know what a Cinnabon is?
And that's a product placement that falls off another product placement later.
Barry, how much longer is this going to go on? It's been 3 days.
After reenacting the pollinate. Actually, that one's more clever spelling.
I'll give it to you. Fuck it.
Wait, no, it isn't. This movie's rubbing off on me. Barry's parents do start to put together he might be in love.
I'm meeting a friend.
A girl? I just hope she's B-ish.
Oh my god.
Yeah, can I have a dozen red roses, please?
God, you had to throw in a Tommy Wiseau joke there. Fuck. Oh, hey, Johnny, I didn't know it was you.
What was that? A pick and save circular? Felt like about 10 pages.
Well, you've really got that down to a science.
I lost a cousin to Italian Vogue.
Well, that was funny. I guess the next joke must be
Ray Liotta Private Select.
confusingly random. It counts. But again, something so odd will happen, I just have to laugh. Like when he's determined to figure out who's stealing and selling their honey.
Upset any of you? Please! You're too late. It's ours now.
I'm sorry, it is embarrassing to laugh at some scenes. I mean, yes, I let out laughter, but all I'm thinking in my head is...
I come before you today, humbled and humiliated.
Barry tries to follow a honey truck, but gets stuck inside. Here he meets a mosquito, played by Chris Rock.
Whoa! Moose Blood's about to leave the building.
Thanks for the 1 hour recording session, Chris. I'll return the favor in top 5.
They make the honey, and we make the money.
He gets to the honey farm where he sees bees are being smoked to separate them from the honey.
Our queen was moved here. We had no choice.
This is your queen? That's a man in woman's clothes.
What the fuck? That's the first one that got a bit more than just a out of me.
Jokes that do not work here 19 years later because people get too offended by it.
Yeah.
All right, stop. Don't add any more. The joke already got a laugh.
That's a drag queen.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
You know, I would have loved...
It's literally one of those cases like assuming your audience is stupid.
Yeah.
Like, not to mention, like, if this is supposed to be like a kid's movie, like, you just destroyed the point of letting it go over the kids' heads. Like,
instead,
you just shoved it in the kids' faces, like, instead. Like,
yeah. Now a bunch of immature kids, whenever they see this joke,
that's a drag queen.
Gay!
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's what's gonna happen. You did that, Jerry Seinfeld. You did that.
You know, I would have loved to have known the story of that character. Who got to him? Why did he switch sides? Does he actually look like the real queen? That would have been on par with any of the random side stories in this, and I would have laughed. But you blew it! That add nothing! You keep adding something and make it nothing! Stop doing that! You better have something equally weird to match that!
Tonight on Be Larry King, we're talking to Barry Benson.
There's not they weren't even trying there. Tonight on Be Larry King, it's like not Larry Being or Larry Being? Larry Bing? I don't know.
It doesn't work in the first place is the problem. They could have came up with a better idea.
Dude, you could have done Conan O'Brien.
Tonight on BBC Radio, like... So tonight on BBC Radio, we're interviewing whatever the fuck his name is.
Barry B. Benson.
Yeah, Barry B. Benson on BBC Radio. Like, that works better. Like... Come on, like...
God forgive me. I think that's one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life.
Bullshit, Doug. That's not... Come on.
It's not that the bees have a Larry King. That'd be stupid. It's that he's literally called B. Larry King.
It's not clever, but it's blatant. I'll say that. It's blatant.
I guess it's just so dumb that he finds it funny.
That's kind of Doug in a nutshell. There's some things that he finds funny. I'm just like, that's not funny.
It is so phenomenally lazy. It's hysterical.
Okay, there you go. See, even he admits it's lazy.
And to make the joke better, they actually do dive into it in a similar way I was saying they should have with the previous scenario.
You know they have a Larry King in the human world, too.
It's a common name. Next week.
Okay, see?
I'll give him that one.
See? That's funny.
Be Larry King.
No, I mean, he looks like you, and he has a show with suspenders.
That's the right way to add on to a joke.
Yeah.
It's like they put a lot of hard work into showing you how much they didn't try with this joke. It's a phenomenal paradox.
Pointy shoulders, squinty eyes, very Jewish.
Oy vey.
Nah, don't worry. I'm sure the press tour with them will go better.
Is this still CNN? That was the #1 show on television.
Oh, that's right. Oh, God. Yeah, Jerry Seinfeld, once again.
Context for this.
Jerry went on Larry King Live and got his ego hurt when Larry King basically didn't say, you know, like, oh, Lord Jerry Seinfeld, who had the biggest show in the world, and called it quits when you were at the top. Instead, Larry was just like having the biggest show in the world, and basically just told him basically said that, and then because Jerry got offended by that, Jerry basically spent like the next 10 minutes sniping at Larry King, trying to make Larry King feel stupid for not giving Jerry Seinfeld like all of his flowers. Look, I'm never gonna hate on Jerry Seinfeld. The dude's worth $500 million.
I hate people with egos.
Well, here's the thing. I'm not gonna hate on somebody because they made money. I'm gonna hate on them because they're a dick.
Mm-hmm.
There's a difference. So if you're gonna come at me and say, "Oh, bro, you're just hating because Jerry got money," I'm like, I don't give a fuck how much money he's got. If he's gonna act like an asshole, I'm gonna call him an asshole.
Like, all the best successful people, like the most likable successful people, are humble.
Yes. For instance, Christian Bale, even though he's had his moments where he acts out too.
Keanu
Reeves. That's probably the best example.
Mm-hmm.
Keanu is like hands down one of the most chill human beings ever, and I love that.
Larry, do you know who I am?
Come watch me play Resident Evil 2 every Friday on Twitch.
Oh, yeah.
I've never played a Resident Evil game before, so it should be pretty fun. We also have content 5 days a week. Hope to see you there. Barry decides to sue the human race for stealing their honey. Yeah, like I said, it randomly jumps around a lot as he goes up against a lawyer named Montgomery, played by John Goodman.
I'm still mad about this. They missed a prime opportunity for him to be played by Wayne Knight. Because in Seinfeld, the character Newman was like Jerry's arch nemesis. Hello, Newman. Like, it would have been a perfect it would have been like a perfect tie-in, and they could have like played off each other. And then he would be like, I would like to call Paul Newman. And all of a sudden, Jerry as Barry could go, Newman. And it could have worked. But no, instead it's John Goodman, and yeah.
Sure, he was probably like, not too on the nose. And I'm like, after everything else you've done in this movie?
Yes. No, that's too on the nose. It's like, no, it's just because you didn't come up with it. That too.
You're representing all bees of the world?
I'm kidding.
Okay. Once in a while, a dad joke won't be that funny, but will be a little charming.
Yeah.
As long as it's not 80% of the movie.
You also own Honeyburton and Hunron.
90% of the movie.
God.
Born on a farm, she believed it was man's divine right.
I don't think you were done positioning that woman's hands, film.
I enjoy what I do. Is that a crime?
I guess to double down on their random Ray Liotta joke, they
Oh yeah, they had him with his primetime Emmy.
actually get the real Ray Liotta, despite him looking a little too much like a Buffalo Bill skin mask.
This isn't a good fella. This is a bad fella.
Okay, tell me Seinfeld didn't look at that joke and say, this is garbage, let's go!
Yeah.
As the trial heats up, the movie suddenly remembers, oh yeah, didn't Vanessa have a boyfriend or something?
That's where I usually sit.
So, I hear you're quite a tennis player. I'm not much for the game myself. I find the ball a little grabby.
Much like I am with a girlfriend. I'm a bad fella! Ken finally loses it and tries taking Barry out. Again, some of this works.
I've got issues!
And other times...
Surf's up, dude! Oh. That bowl is gnarly!
By the way, both Both of these are from the same episode, in case you're wondering. I don't think they're
Oh, yeah.
utilized enough.
What are you doing?
Vanessa stops him and, again, you swear the actors know what they're saying is so goddamn stupid that they have to shrug and have fun with it.
He happens to be the nicest bee I've met.
What are you talking about? Are there other bugs in your life?
I'm saying I know how you dress at night.
Oh, my
Well,
God.
the lawyer tries to get Barry's team so mad that they remind people why they usually don't like bees.
Doesn't your queen give birth to all the bee children?
Yeah, but...
So those aren't even your real parents.
That's a good point. We should
Yeah?
question that more. It works so well that Adam lashes out at him, giving up his stinger.
Oh, an angel of mercy will come forward to suck the poison from my heaving buttocks.
No.
I don't know. Sure, let's be Ren and Stimpy for 2 seconds. And again, I'm sorry. All the stuff around Adam's recovery really cracks me up. I love the giant
He can't
bed. I love the
recover. He's
artificial
going
stinger
to
as a
die.
content.
That's what happens when a bee stings somebody. Their guts come out with the stinger.
Yep.
Sword. Even the morphine being a bare jar of honey really makes me laugh. So naturally, what's the stupid thing to follow?
How much longer are we going to allow these absurd
Oh,
shenanigans?
fuck.
Go, go, gaga.
That is something I will give that is so stupid that it made me laugh.
Yeah. Hold on.
What's the stupid thing to follow?
How much longer are we going to allow these absurd shenanigans to go on?
That'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
Barry proves that bees are smoked to get honey, which is seen as cruel and unusual, and does result in this funny bit.
Honey slaves to the white man!
You're pretty white, Jerry. I know you claim to be Jewish, but you're pretty white.
How most black people react when white people talk about Seinfeld too much. The judge rules in the bees' favor, taking back all their honey, even recreating the collapse of Saddam's statue in Iraq, complete with shoe hitting. That'll get a laugh out of the kids.
Right.
And I mentioned this was a DreamWorks production. Piglet, delete the tapes of us.
I think we need to shut down!
Shut down? We never shut down!
With all the honey returned, it seems they now have too much honey, so the bees stop working and therefore stop pollinating, leading to the world all slowly dying. Yeah, like I said, I legit had a hard time figuring out where this film was gonna go.
Where is everybody?
This was my new desk. This was my new job. I wanted to do it really well.
I like to show the importance of not just bees in society, but also how important just work is. Without it, the bees feel like they've lost a good chunk of who they are and they don't know what to do. In a genre where family films say working too much is bad, which is a good lesson, every once in a while it's good to hear, hey, doing your job well can be a damn good thing too.
Yeah.
How about a suicide pact?
How do we do it?
I'll sting you, you step on me.
That just kills you twice.
Also, I'm sorry, I gotta love a kid's flick where the words suicide pact are used.
It's pretty dark.
2007.
Vanessa says she's going to Pasadena to see the last of the flowers left in the Rose Parade, which gives Barry an idea. Get the rest of the flowers back to New York, where he thinks he'll convince the bees to pollinate again.
I'm gonna go talk to the marshal.
You do that! This whole parade is a fiasco!
And that actress died. They get the flowers on the plane, and when Barry tries to convince the pilots to go faster, they get scared and accidentally knock each other out.
Now one's bald, one's in a boat, and they're both unconscious.
Is that another bee joke?
Literally half the common cards for this movie. The bees catch wind of what's going on and try to help them land the plane. And like I said, everyone makes fun that there's nothing in this movie, it's all bee puns, but I'm sorry, this is really damn creative.
Land on that flower! Pull forward, nose down, bring your tail up, rotate around it.
If you think I didn't do Quaaludes while writing this scene, again, you don't know my movies! The
Yeah,
plane
true.
lands safely. I love nobody on there even notices the difference in the landing. And the bees manage to pollinate once more. Barry even becomes a pollen jock.
Between you and me, I was dying to get out of that office.
Really? Didn't go for a BN joke? That was the low-hanging fruit for you? Or maybe they're watching right now going, oh! Oh! And that was B-Movie, like I said before. It's one of those films you can usually figure out early if you're gonna be into it or not. I do see more the amount of
I don't really
groaners that are in
think
this
so.
material, but I do also still see the creativity and fun angles and, dare I say it, some material that did make me laugh. Yes,
Yeah.
the story's all over the place, but I do think that's intentional. I just don't think you're supposed to take much of this, hell, any of it seriously. And I really do give it credit that it was unpredictable. I'd much rather
Pooh
have
getting
something that's odd.
sedated is kind of fucked up, dude.
Oh, Piglet. Oh.
Oh, bother.
Oh, bother. Actually, could you imagine if Winnie the Pooh was like a morphine addict? He'd be like Woodhouse from friggin' Archer. He'd be like, oh, hello, old friend. It's like, Pooh? It's like, you were addicted to morphine? Yes. Why else do you think that I'm addicted to honey now? I had to replace it with something.
And kept me guessing. Then another "you're not insert occupation here, are you" story that acts like it's the first one to do it. Am I gonna pretend this is a great comedy? No, not by a long shot, but I do think there's some value in it, despite all the annoyances that the internet has given it.
The perfect report card. All B's.
Well, maybe add it to it. It may not be the best of Jerry Seinfeld's work, but it is unmistakably and indisputably Jerry Seinfeld's work. I'm a nostalgia critic guy, remember? So you don't have to.
Suck the poison from my healing buckets.
I'd rather get hit in the head with a cowbell.
Mm-hmm.
Literally. Anyway. Yeah. So.
I don't really know what to think about that. Other than I still probably won't ever actually watch it.
It's mid. That's all I can say about it. It's mid. You either like it or you don't like it, or you think it's okay. Either way, it's
I think
whatever.
I just don't vibe with Jerry Seinfeld at all. I think people who do might like it, but
yeah,
he's just not really my style. I mean, there's like, you know, a whole reason that like the show that's like my favorite comedy show like literally pokes fun at Seinfeld at one point.
Yeah. It's like, we put the laugh track in there so people know when to laugh.
Well, they poke fun at all laugh track shows that way, but they actually have a legitimate one-to-one like Seinfeld parody in an episode too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
It's Charlie's playing is it Kramer? Is his name?
Oh, yeah, Cosmo Kramer.
Yeah, and he like comes in and like slaps him down. And he's like, "I'm out."
Oh, with the bet. Yeah.
It's in their best of episode where they're basically remembering things incorrectly, and they remember like their show is Seinfeld instead of Always Sunny temporarily, and they're like, "Oh, that was just an episode of Seinfeld." Like, shut up.
Really? Are you sure?
Yeah.
You can literally see Charlie do
It's like, we've never lived in New York.
Oh, yeah. You could totally see Charlie doing some dumb shit like that. But, alright. Everyone, that was the movie by the Nostalgia Critic. I mean, I agree with Doug. It is most certainly Seinfeld. It's most certainly Seinfeld. So, yeah. But I guess if you all are interested in seeing more from the Nostalgia Critic or anything else Channel Awesome related, feel free to click up here. This is the link to the Channel Awesome channel. And if you also want to subscribe to us, here's a little subscribe button. We greatly appreciate it if you would do that. Also, leave a like down below, because that's the only way these videos are ever going to get any traction. And yeah, I guess until then, I'm Nate.
I'm Nick. Y'all be good out there.